Hey YouTube, I'm doing outstanding. Welcome back to the podcast. I know I don't normally do two so close together, but here we are. So today I'm here with my buddy Noah.
Hello.
And we are going to be reading another one of our fan fictions. This one we actually wrote together. This is called Dragon Ball NOS, which the NOS comes from literally N for Noah, a Dragon Ball in the middle, and then an S for Sebastian. I think that, it also stands for Nani and Sissel, which is the name of our characters.
I think we did that on purpose.
Yeah, it was something along the
yeah. Didn't we do it on accident?
Yeah, I think we did it on accident. So Nani, no, I think you came up with Nani first, and then I was like, oh, my character has to start with an S so that it fits. Mm-hmm. I think Sissel also means something, but I can't remember what.
Nani is also a very, very obscure reference to a vegetable, I think. You're going to see if I can find it.
Well, Sissel was a very obscure reference to a wood instrument. I remember that much.
The slide whistle?
Oh, yes, that was it. That had to have been it. Which isn't a wood instrument.
Well, I searched Nani vegetable, and I just get vegetable market, so we'll call it a success.
So our generic storyboard that we had written up was Nani and Sissel find the Dragon Balls. Nani and Sissel find Goten, Videl, and Trunks, which I don't believe happened.
No, because they did, but we cut it out.
Oh, gotcha. Nani slaps Goten, prompting a wail that wakes...
Goten!
prompting a wail that wakes Broly. So we were literally just doing the intro to
Dragon Ball
Broly.
Second Coming.
Yes.
This is based on Second Coming, and then it merges into Xenoverse, I remember.
Yes, a little bit into Xenoverse, and this was prior to the Broly movie that came out recently.
Oh yeah, this was like a year before that or more.
Yeah. Future Trunks appears, Broly appears and decks our heroes good.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says. Broly kills Sissel, prompting a Super Saiyan explosion from Nani. Broly is intrigued and impressed by the female Saiyan's sheer strength, because you kept capitalizing female Saiyan every time, and impressed for no reason. He actually starts to like her and enjoys their battle. The visage of a female Goku trying to beat him proves quite disarming.
Wait, whoa. Read that one more time.
The visage of a female Goku trying to beat him proves quite disarming.
Oh, right.
Broly is subdued and is slowly convinced that there is a better way to fight.
Well, yeah. They don't know, but Nani has Goku's hair because she's also a low-class Saiyan.
Well, I was thinking I would make the... so, you know, like the... when I do my podcast, it's just a blank image. So I would put Nani and Sissel there, if I can find my Sissel.
I mean, you can find my Nani. I can give them...
That's why I said if I could find... Not right now. Don't worry about it right now. Yeah. Nani, Sissel, Broly, and Future Trunks leave, heading to Kanton City. Cronoa is surprised, but... Who's Cronoa?
The short pink lady.
Oh, shit, right. Yes. Alright, Cronoa is surprised, but pleased that Broly was swayed, and the rogue elements tell her they want to join the TP.
The Time Patrol.
She somewhat reluctantly agrees if they are able to do something for her first. Broly is made partners with Nani and Sissel, which is the only conditions the Mighty Saiyan had for joining.
Which Mighty Saiyan?
I don't know. I guess Broly. I guess he thought potentially he would go to another team.
I don't know. That's maybe Nani? I don't know.
No. It was definitely referring to Broly. He's made partners with Nani and Sissel so that they're forced to stay in a group. So I think Broly may have thought that he was going to end up on his own or something. Anyway, they depart once more to attempt to correct a major timeline differential. Timeline M2, as it has come to be called. Toa and Mira were both defeated when they tried to invade it, and the Scoff, Cronoa... Oh, Scoff. Supreme Kai of Time. Supreme Kai of F.
What? Supreme... I mean, it had to have been a mistake.
Cronoa wants them to investigate. Dragon Ball Mites crosses over with Dragon Ball NOS. Dragon Ball Mites?
Oh, right. That's mine. That's my story.
Oh, that's right. Your characters come into this. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what the female and male Saiyan was. Oh, yeah. Kirk and Paya. Yes. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Nani tries out the time chamber and ends up gaining nearly 4 years in age and unlocks Super Saiyan 2 and 3 with Kirk and Paya's help.
Oh, fun fact, the only reason she goes into the time chamber is so that it's not weird that Broly likes her.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Because she's like, what, 14?
Yeah. And he's like 28, 29.
She nearly unlocks Super Saiyan 4, but she runs out of time. Sizzles with pickles in the meantime. What?
Sizzles with pickles.
Who's Pickles?
Piccolo. Where do you see this? I want to read this.
Dragon Ball NOS storyboard. It's one of our shared documents. Sizzles with pickles in the meantime, and Broly gets to meet himself.
Alright, you know what I mean? Okay.
Gavin appears. Who the fuck's Gavin?
Another thing from my thing. He's a bad guy.
Gotcha. And slaps the shit out of the pair of Brolys.
Wait, there's a pair of Brolys?
And then the Pickle Bros. He invades the time chamber and nearly kills Tika and Kirk. Paya and Nani fuse, using the Patara into Pani. Or Pawnee.
Pawnee.
Gavin beats the shit out of Pawnee. The Broly Bros and the Pickle Bros join the fight. Everyone is beating this shit. Oh no! The second Z fusion takes place, combining Pickles, Nani, Kirk, Paya, and Sizzle. Tika was too young to join. The Z Fighter fusion fights evenly with full power Gavin and nearly beats him when it runs out of time. Gavin is winded severely and cannot continue at full power. Everyone goes full power and it just ends. Finines him off. This is terrible.
Okay.
So that was.
I'm just gonna. Let me just...
So that was just the storyboard.
All right.
I don't remember any of.
I'm just gonna delete that part.
So the very beginning I remember existing, but we started.
I deleted the part where Gavin appears.
Okay. Yeah, because like really Dragon Ball Might's like right about there is where we left off. I think because I don't think she went Super Saiyan 4.
No, she never went Super Saiyan 4. I
So,
think she was supposed to go Super Saiyan 4 in that fight, and then Gavin's like.
So we actually wrote most of this story in a script format instead, but we ended up going back and rewriting. Fuck. We ended up going back and rewriting it because we felt it was better as a story.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you guys may not have known is that we live streamed this every Sunday.
We tried. We tried so hard.
It became difficult because one, we had to wake up early. And two, it was a Sunday. And we worked Sunday. I worked Sunday? One of us worked Sundays sometimes. It was a terrible schedule.
I think I work Sundays sometimes. Or did you work? I don't know.
It was something like that. Once you get a solid schedule, we should get back into writing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. We're just going to get into it. I'm going to...
I'll voice Nani.
So he's going to voice Nani. I'll voice Sissel and the narrator for chapter 1, and then he'll do chapter 2. Because I don't think there's a whole lot.
Nani voice.
I'm just going to do my best Piccolo impression without hearing Piccolo's voice. So.
Oh, God. Do you want me to...
You know,
I don't know where my phone is. Never mind.
I found it.
Dodge!
No, I'll come up with my own voice for him.
Okay.
I
mean, I'm going to use basically a Goku voice.
Alright. The wind blows through the stone columns of Yunzibit. Our heroes stand at the precipice of a massive ravine, at the bottom of which a glimmering orb rests, surrounded by numerous, hideous monsters. Their jaws ooze with blood as they growl at our heroes.
Hey, Sissel, how long do you think it's going to take to get rid of these guys?
The small Saiyan girl known as Nani smiles down at the undulating mass of murderers. Her friend, a Namek known as Sissel. Sorry, it looked like the K in Namek was capitalized there. The Namek known as Sissel grins and lowers his speed.
Where did you...
I'm sorry. Sissel grins and lowers his hand toward them. Haven't you learned anything about speed, Nani? Finish your foes as fast as possible. Like this! He says as a wave of energy rockets from his hand.
You know what you could do? get stock energy noises at the same time.
No. Nani jumps down and flares up her aura, scattering the dust and smoke, revealing the now monster-free ravine.
Awesome! Hey, can you see the ball from up there?
She asks as Sissel jumps down after her and slings his arm into a nearby shadow. Beautiful. As he retracts his arm, Nani sees the ball in his hand. Here it is! He presents it to the Saiyan, and she grabs it, and holds it over her head.
Yay!
The girl exclaims.
That sounded really awful.
As the Namekian chuckles. It opens the bag attached to his side. Nani places the ball inside with several others like it. Touching his ball sack. Even though he doesn't have one, because he's a Namekian.
That's you.
Alright, now we just need to find the last one. If I remember right, it should be just west of here. As he explains, Nani laughs and rockets out of the ravine, a cheery, childlike grin on her face as she looks down at her Namekian friend. Next page. It's you.
Okay. I'll race you there!
Ha! Like you could beat me in a race. I'm 1,000 times faster than you. She laughs at his declaration and jets off towards the west, leaving the Namekian not far behind. She flies low to the water to leave a massive wall in her wake. Sissel destroys it with a key blast and explodes forward, taking the lead whilst firing backwards at her. He shouts, "Dart!" She scoffs and deflects them and sends some of her own back.
That's you. That's you.
Whoa!
Whoa!
The seething orbs of energy speed past him, forcing him to slow down as she takes the lead again. He growls and tries to pick up speed once more as the continent looms over the horizon. Nani taunts her friend, tossing a few more blasts quickly back at him, but he shrugs them off. You think that's funny? He dodges them dangerously as they sizzle in the water behind him.
No, but this is...
What? Before he can finish speaking, Sissel slams through a tree, leaving nothing but splinters behind. Nani laughs at her friend's misfortune, right before slamming head first into the wall of a quarry. After brushing himself off, Sissel finds her at the base of the quarry, making sounds of pain. She groans and rolls from side to side, clutching her aching head. You idiot.
You could have warned me.
I told you to dodge! Okay, I'm sorry. The voice that I'm doing right there sounds very similar to Armstrong, which I know is the same voice actor. It's like, that's been passed through the Armstrong line for generations! That's what it sounds like to me, anyway. He says as he... I told you to dodge! He says as he helps her to stand. She lets out a groan as they glance around at the blue-tinted quarry. And Sissel lets out a single solitary chuckle. That didn't take as long as I thought it would. I could have sworn that ocean was bigger.
I totally beat you, though.
She grabs the dragon radar from her pocket and turns it on.
Radar says it's in this quarry. Awesome.
Nani says as she jumps... Wait, what? Because she says radar says, and then it says Nani says.
Yeah,
Nani says as she jumps down to a lower section of the quarry.
There.
She says as she jumps down to a lower... That wasn't the part I had a problem with. It was the says. But anyway, down to a lower section of the quarry, and walks toward a enclosure filled with spherical orbs, all a dark blue, save for one inconspicuous orange ball. I think...
me?
Yeah.
This can't be. It's way too easy. Something seems off about this.
Nani, do you sense that? Sissel shouts. I like how I open up with, Nani!
Nani!
Do you sense that? Sissel shouts, and Nani quickly stands, turning around to face the oncoming energy, when a small child slams into her chest, and she gasps, slapping it as hard as she can, and cries out in pain, and tumbles to the ground at her side, rolling into a ball and crying loudly. Who should do this?
Can you do a high-pitched Goten voice?
No, I cannot. I'm already doing two voices, so you should probably do this one.
Ow! Why'd you do that?
The small child gives her a death stare as it shouts at her.
Oh God, I'm sorry. You surprised me. They're basically the same voice, only one's higher pitched.
Well, one was louder, not higher pitched. Nani kneels next to the child and consoles him, when another two people appear. A boy with purple hair and a girl with short black hair. I'll do Trunks, because I'm pretty sure
that might be Videl.
Is it?
I don't know. Do you want to do Videl? Try a female voice?
Who the heck are you guys?
That's Videl.
No, alright, how about... Who the heck are you guys?
That's better. Okay,
No, I'm pretty sure the top one is Trunks, the bottom one is Videl. So, who the heck are you guys is Trunks, and Goten, see what you did, is Videl.
Yeah.
So
that would be...
Who the heck are you guys? Just roll with it.
Do you want me to do Videl
yeah.
then? Goten, see what you did? You should watch where you're going.
The child, whose name is now revealed as Goten,
Is relentless.
is relentless in his tempestuous outcry, and it echoes throughout the quarry and into the mountains beyond, unintentionally awakening a sleeping devil. After a few minutes, Videl manages to subdue Goten, and he stops crying, and he gives Nani a nasty glare. Jesus. That sentence. And he stops crying, and he gives Nani a nasty glare. Oh, this is you.
You're mean. Who are you?
Nani frowns and looks at the ground for a moment, compiling her words in her head. It's at this time that everyone, besides Sissel, notices her distinct hair shape. Namely, it looks just like Goku and Goten's.
Hey lady, why do you look like my dad?
She stops, confused, when she notices his hair and gasps.
No way. Goten? As in Son Goten. Son of Son Goku? God damn it. The legendary Super Saiyan.
She says, looking at him like he is a celebrity.
Yeah? Is there any other Goku you know?
Goten says as Nani inhales sharply and lets out a squeal of excitement. Just read the line.
You didn't tell me we were in this timeline. We could meet Goku.
Nani says to her mentor, I mainly knew the existence and location of the Dragon Ball, Sissel replies. As Videl takes a peek at Sissel's bag, she states,
Wow. Snoopy. You've been gathering the Dragon Balls? That's why they were in a tight cluster this whole time?
Mm-hmm. Sissel nods as Nani continues to fangirl over Goten. She hovers around him and he groans a bit.
Lady, what are you doing? Oh.
She backs away, pulling her hands closer to her sides, and looks at him.
I'm sorry. I got caught up in the moment.
She reserves herself, as Sissel continues. I was hoping we would get this done before he... Sorry, I'm gonna fix my voice there. I was hoping we could get this done before they showed up, he says, and Nani looks at him with disappointment.
Artificial conflict here. You know they were gonna be here, and you didn't tell me? I thought you finally... Oh god, I thought you had finally trusted me. I am not like other Saiyajin.
Why is it spelled like that?
Why does it say Saiyajin?
I don't know. I just...
Perfect Cell?
Sorry, Perfect Cell shows up later. I should hold on to that voice.
Spoilers?
It's not real spoilers. I've had problems with Saiyans before. I didn't want you rushing into it and dying. It could have been something bad, like Broly. She looks at him dead and enthused. Wait, she looks dead at him.
An enthused
sparkle in her eyes, and she takes a deep breath. Oh, gotcha. I thought she was like death staring at him.
Yeah.
She looks right at him, an enthused sparkle in her eyes, and she takes a deep breath.
Broly is here? Where? Where is he?
Sissel groans and slaps his face.
It's coming from two minds at the same time.
Videl cocks her head and looks towards the Namekian.
Broly? Who is Broly?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's me. She asks as Goten taps her shoulder.
He's a guy our dad's fat in the... Fat!
You're not Goten right now.
Wait.
Do a more feminine voice. He's a guy... Oh no, I guess...
He's a guy our dad's fought in the past. Gohan told me he was really strong.
Trunks nods... Trunks?
Trunk nods.
Trunks nods along and raises his hand. Yeah, my dad told me about him, but he said he was dead.
It's like Goten's age versus Trunks' age.
Wait, I thought adult Trunks was there.
Not yet.
Oh shit, I thought... I'm sorry, if I had recognized it was a kid, Yeah, my dad told me about
Alright, continue.
Yeah, my dad told me about him, but he said he was dead. As Trunks explains, a quizzical look appears on Vidal's face.
Wait, does that mean you guys are from the future?
She asks.
That's future Trunks.
Oh, yes, they are, and they're not supposed to be here. What is that sentence? Supposed to be here.
Supposed to be here.
Yes, they are, and they're not supposed to be here. A voice calls out from behind them. Sissel gasps as he recognizes the voice.
Oh, God.
Trunks, is that you? Trunks, is that you? Wait, that's not Sissel.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's a really... Alright.
It's a weird sentence.
I've always wanted to be a time patrol... What? Again? Trunks, is that you? I've always wanted to be a time patroller. I am a big fan. It's Trunks from the Time Patrol, and he looks mad. Wait, what?
He looks mad.
Sorry, so we're gonna pause the recording for just a second here. Make sure you're ready to pause yours. And 3, 2...
It did.
Okay, well, now...
I'm at 24:47, almost to 24:48.
Our timing's completely off anyway.
What's your timing at?
I just hit 24:57.
Oh, that's weird.
Here, let's get a nice silent period so I can cut properly, because I can line it up in
Okay.
post. So,
You just you though, or just me?
what do you mean?
Who's silent right now?
We'll both be silent for a few moments, and then I'll parse them together at the end.
Okay.
So, just give it a second. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Let's see, where were we?
I can totally hear you too.
Oh, it can?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
That's gonna sound weird.
Not if I parse them together properly.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moment of silence. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I could have sworn my phone was going off. It wasn't. Turns out it was just a cup on the table next to us. Very simple. I'm going to change the sound on my phone. Anyway, where were we? It's Trunks from the Time Patrol, and he looks mad. You two, what are you doing altering the timeline? Are you a Toa and Mira? He demands as the younger Trunks looks at his future self. Wait! No way, is that... Oh wait, no, is this young Trunks?
Yeah.
Oh, wait! No way! That is me! Is that really me? If you're really me, then you can totally do this! He stands straight and becomes a Super Saiyan. The older Trunks glares at him. I am not about to try to prove myself to you. I don't know, I'm doing his voice like that. I'm not about to try to prove myself to you. You need to leave right now! His voice echoes into the hills as a disturbance lumbers toward our unaware heroes. Sissel tries to dispel the situation, but to little success. You two need to leave!
That's not Sissel. That's Trunks.
You two need to leave before you damage the timeline any further! Nani backs away, the Dragon Balls clattering in her bag, and Sissel steps between them. That is enough, Trunks! There's no need for this! Trunks roars, becoming a Super Saiyan violently. Goten and the young Trunks follow suit, getting between the... Wait, he was already Super Saiyan. Follow suit, getting between the invader and our heroes. Goten glances back at Nani.
Shouldn't you be super too?
He asks, and she looks at him sadly and turns away.
I can't.
She reveals, and Goten turns back towards the future Trunks.
Okay, don't worry about it. I'm sure you will soon. Assuming you don't die.
He encourages, and she frowns and backs away. The disturbance grows nearer. At the forest's closest edge, a rage that burns forth at the sight of our young hero.
Can't we just talk this out? We don't need to get into a silly fight, do we?
Nani tries to defuse the situation herself, but gets a mean glare from the future Trunks. You shut your mouth! Altering time is a grave offense. I can't get his voice right at all. Sorry, what's a generic Trunks line?
Hey!
Hey!
You shut your mouth! Altering time is a grave offense.
Alright. You shut your mouth! Altering time is a grave offense. his demands growing more serious. Sissel growls and his aura flares up. I will not stand for this. I don't care how bad it is. Nani doesn't deserve that. Sissel shouts back at him, and Trunks backs off ever so slightly.
Sissel?
No, Nani, this is unacceptable. Time patrols are supposed to be guardians of the timeline. They aren't supposed to yell at kids. As Sissel defends her, a horrified look appears on Trunks' face.
Sissel?
No, I will not. Trunks, you need to.
That's Trunks?
No, that's you, shouting Sissel.
Sissel!
What? He turns around to face Nani, but instead going face first into a towering mass of muscle.
Kakarot.
Turns out, Trunks was just trying to get them to leave before the legendary Super Saiyan arrived. However, it is far too late for that.
Kakarot?
The Saiyan, not yet clad in his greenish rage, is currently confused. He glances back and forth between Goten and Nani specifically.
You two, small Kakarots? How long have I... Ugh!
I like how random words are capitalized, but not that I.
He really doesn't know how to capitalize.
He roars and the tables turn as Broly becomes the focus of everyone's attention.
And then apparently, time skip?
No, it's not a time skip, it's just a space in between. I don't know why. He starts to laugh, and his aura erupts a vivid green.
No, there's... Maybe not, okay.
Sissel brings his fingers to his forehead, electricity arcing around them. Sorry, not between them.
Can't even see it.
Broly continues to roar as his body inflates dramatically. And he assumes the berserker form. Sissel growls and glances around with his eyes. That's not at all what he's doing. With no one left out, he has no choice. He funnels all of his energy into his fingertips, causing them to ignite. And he roars, pointing them at Broly's head. With hideous laughter, Broly interrupts his attack, grabbing his wrist, prompting a fearful grasp from Sissel. He twists his arm clean off, and with the energy still built up, he turns it back on his user, and the beam shrieks into the distance. I didn't know it could be stored in the arm. Sissel lets out a gasp of pain, and Broly kicks him, sending the Namekian back into the forest. Back into the forest? Did he come from the forest? Broly cackles and turns towards the retreating children.
Here I come, brats!
Oh, he can't say Kakarot now. Anyway. With little warning, he rushes toward them, slamming his arms into them and knocking them out of the sky. Nani falls to the ground and looks up towards Broly, spotting Sissel's arm in his clutches. What? Nani falls to the ground and looks up towards Broly, spotting Sissel's arm in his clutches. At the sight, a pit forms in her stomach as her heart sinks.
You killed Sissel?
She says, her voice shaking. Broly stops and looks down at her, a grotesque smile on his face.
He died like the slug he was.
How would Broly know that? His words drip with evil, and Nani quivers with emotion. Ooh, that sounds more like... Imagine, reading it in a different voice, His words drip with evil, and Nani quivers with emotion.
No.
She gasps, and she suddenly feels a rage filling her entire core. Anyway.
You monster! No, okay. You monster! I can't believe it! I refuse!
She stands, her body yelling at her to stop, but she pushes it all aside as the burning fury inside her turns white hot.
He was always there for me, and you killed him. I am going to make you pay!
Her roar fills the quarry, and Broly does a double take, as her hair turns a bright white before fading to a pale gold. Trunks and Goten look over.
You thought the last thing was sexual. Come on.
Trunks and Goten look over, and Broly descends to the ground in front of her.
Something about this is different. Could it be that it's your first?
Oh my god! Nani ignores his comment, instead choosing to use her newfound speed to plant her fist firmly in his stomach. He gasps and staggers away as his hair returns to normal. He growls and looks down at her, his body returning to normal size as his surprise throws him for a loop. I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
It's through a loop. Anyway.
Wait, it's not through. It throws him through a loop. It's throws him
through a loop, not for a loop. Anyway, doesn't matter. We had that conversation when it happened. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, because he's clearly wrong.
For a loop.
Yeah, that still sounds stupid. I've never heard it that way, except for you.
It's always for a loop.
Anyway, the Namekian's arm falls to the ground, and she glances at it, her eyes blank with fury.
I hope you are ready to die.
So I think I'll stay as the narrator, just because it's simpler that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chapter 2. Fix this huge gap, lazy writers. Broly arrives at Kanton City. Oh, Jesus, what?
That's right. Fix this huge gap.
So I think what happened here is we just never got back to rewriting this particular section. Yeah. So the battle sort of ended there with Broly coming back down, and he kind of passes out a little bit, I think, and then he wakes back up. Nani talks to him, I guess, and then Trunks and them go back to Kanton City. So
yeah, no, I think Sissel shows up and says, "Hey, I'm not dead." And Nani's like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah,
I don't want to kill him anymore. He's really cool.
We're pretty lazy. That's why we didn't write that.
Oh God, I can't do Cronoa's voice.
I'll try.
She's high-pitched and short.
Broly arrives at Kanton City with the rest of the group. Future Trunks escorts the crew to the Supreme Guy of Time, Cronoa, to be punished for their actions throughout different eras. Cronoa does not turn to face them, but by her stature anybody can tell that she is on edge.
You guys are in a heck of a lot of trouble, is what I want to say. But you two have managed to do something that even my best controllers couldn't. You managed to get the legendary Super Saiyan to come down for long enough to get him to listen,
she says, glancing up at Broly, who looks away and grunts. I would avoid calling Goku by his Saiyan name, Trunks says, and Cronoa nods.
That is a small price to pay for someone like him.
She walks up to the tall Saiyan, hand on her waist. Now it's hand, not hands. And smiles. He looks down at her and chuckles.
You. Oh wait, he's not. You, tiny girl. What are you?
I am the Supreme Kai of Time. I watch over time and keep it on the path it ultimately chooses to take.
Wait. It chooses, but she keeps... Hey, whatever. She explains, and Broly scowls while shaking his head.
That sounds boring.
My job is the most important job in the entire Omniverse. It is not boring.
Broly scoffs and turns away. Cronoa scoffs in return. And looks back at our heroes.
That noise.
Whatever. I already have something I need you three to do. But before that, you need to meet my associates in the Kanton City Marketplace. You can't miss them. It's the pair of tailed Saiyans.
Oh, here we go.
She says, and Nani glances around before looking back at Cronoa.
So, you want us to do that right now?
The Supreme Kai of Time nods in earnest, and Sissel shrugs, starting to lead the four out of the glittering archway when Cronoa calls to Trunks. Oh, sorry. So it looks like we're still only on page 7 of 14. We're only about halfway through.
It's her.
Yeah, I know.
Hey! You need to fill out the Time Patrol report!
She shouts, and he sighs. Fine. I'll meet you guys later. I don't know why he sounds like that. He says after them as they vanish through the arch.
Sizzle.
This town is pretty big.
This town is pretty big for the two of us. Oh wait, there's three.
I wonder where we need to go.
Oh, God.
No, I'm not going to do that again. This town is pretty big. I wonder where we need to go.
Hercule?
Sissel says as Broly grunts and looks down at the ring of buildings surrounding a fountain.
We start there.
Broly leaps down and lands with a thud, surprising those around him.
I think he's still legendary for some reason.
Sissel lets out a sigh as Nani quickly follows after the brute.
Please don't run ahead. You might scare people.
She shouts after him. He leaves a gap in the crowds as he walks, getting strange looks from people, even prompting a couple of Super Saiyans.
Isn't that Broly?
They all whisper as he passes.
Isn't that Broly?
Isn't that Broly?
Isn't that Broly?
They all whisper as he...
Hey, dude, look at that guy. He's fucking ripped.
They all whisper as he passes, and Broly scowls at each and every one of them. Oh god, he's looking at me. Don't look at me.
I fought him a couple times, you know.
Still others say, and he growls.
This place is... No, wait. This place is bright and cheery. Something about it doesn't agree with me.
Broly says as Nani jogs up to his side and looks up at him, hands behind her back. She has an enthusiastic look on her face as he glances down at her.
What are you looking at, Miss Bright and Cheery? Nothing.
I think that's supposed to be more of a nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
She says as she averts her gaze, shrugging off the blush from her face.
Totally.
She looks back forward quickly.
Back
forward quickly as Broly continues to look at her. She spots one of the Saiyans they are looking for. The girl with pink hair. I don't believe it was mentioned that she had pink hair.
Ever mentioned that.
They head toward her, spotting the other not far away.
I wonder how strong these guys are. I'm just going to say guys.
Alright, it says Saiyans. But
Yeah.
Broly adds, and as Nani sneaks another glance at him, they turn to face them. The girl smiles warmly, and the guy does the same.
Hey, you must be the... Broly, what are you doing here?
The man says, and Broly casts his gaze squarely on the man and scowls.
I do not know you.
The man shrugs and looks back toward Nani and Sissel.
Here, this is what you need for your mission.
The man says, giving them a small orange shard. Nani takes it and glances over it.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Oh god. Okay, so we're getting into the part where it's no longer written like paragraphs. It's written as scripting. So there's a lot less environment description now.
Yeah. Use it to regain. Use it to regrain. Use it to regain some strength. Not like a sensor beam. It will not heal you. It will, however, make you unbelievably strong. What?
Females.
It's a dragon stone. Only use it if you absolutely have to. It isn't exactly the safest thing ever.
Nani nods slowly and looks back up, handing the crystal to Sistel. I said that on purpose. Crystal to Sissel. Thank you. What exactly is?
Time rift! Bye!
Out of nowhere, a time rift appears below them, pulling them in before they can react.
They're gonna be okay, right?
I hope so! I need that power to close the rift!
We haven't told them whose that voice is.
So, yeah, that's Few, which is from the Xenoverse games.
And literally say that in the next sentence.
Great.
I hope you know what you're doing, Few. Yeah, we still don't even know where your plan even... Oh, God. We still don't even know what your plan even is.
Few laughs and points his sword towards the rift.
That's what makes it so much fun! Bye-bye!
The strange man does a front flip and dives in head first, leaving the two Saiyans virtually speechless.
I think our Few is a little bit too flamboyant, because I've seen him in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. He is not like that.
It was based on Xenoverse, and he was definitely flamboyant in that for whatever reason. Then it just goes tilde, 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 tilde. After a brief moment of travel through the bowels of space-time, they fall out of the rift, straight onto Perfect Cell. Nani first, landing without budging him an inch. He glances down as Sissel falls onto him as well. As they fall to the ground, he turns to face them. What? He was already looking. Anyway. What the hell are you two doing? Are you that willing to die that you would literally throw yourselves? With a dull thud, Broly lands on him, sending Cell to the floor in a heap.
I feel Kakarot nearby. Where is he?
In a strained voice, Perfect Cell attempts to respond. I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. Also, I can't read this. I'm sorry. I can do this. It's alright. I don't want to laugh. Alright. I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. Also, get the fuck off of me, you monstrous piece of man. Oh no. That's so hard.
Just when I thought I turned the mic off.
It's so hard to say.
Let me make sure sure. Okay, I'm still recording. Okay.
Also, get the fuck off me, you monstrous piece of man!
Broly growls as he steps off him, looking down with hideous contempt.
You look nothing like Kakarot. You are literally an insect. Literally an insect.
Nani winces and stumbles to her feet.
Oh.
Don't. Put it away.
I have no idea what's going on. What the hell are we doing here?
Cell glares at Broly before jumping to his feet and brushing himself off. Alright, here, we can pause real quick.
Here, we'll just cut it out, because pausing it obviously didn't
Yeah,
work for us.
okay, yeah. Shh.
Frick. Whoa. Andrew apparently just got off work and apparently had a bad day. Alright. Alright, ready?
Alright, give me a second to click back over to it. 3. Wait, where are we?
He picks... No, glares at Broly. Perfect Cell U3.
So Cell glares at Broly is where we're at then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. 3, 2. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Cell glares at Broly before jumping to his feet and brushing himself off.
You three had best leave. I will not entertain weaklings before the Cell games begin.
He picks flecks of rubble off of himself before grabbing his crown and levering it off, revealing a head of lovely purple hair. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too.
Do you know how hard it is to keep my hair looking this perfect without people falling on it? My God, think of the hair!
This is obviously a parallel universe where Cell has hair.
Sissel stares speechlessly at Cell's perfect hair, gasping slowly.
Ugh.
That was Cell.
Looks back at Sissel.
Oh, yes.
No, Sissel looks at Cell, he's just like, oh.
Oh, now we're... Okay,
Right.
we're back to the other format.
Yeah, it's about to switch back.
Are you just gonna keep staring at me, boy? Are you alright? I think I broke him. Yep, definitely broke him.
The android chuckles a bit as Sissel continues to stammer. Nani sighs and punches Sissel in the arm, prompting a startled gasp from the Namek.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Nani says, trying to coax some words out of her friend. Cell chuckles and shakes his head.
Well, I don't know who you people are, but you are more than welcome to join the Cell games.
Cell says, addressing the group as a whole.
Then it's just...
I gotta...
I would love to join the Cell games.
God damn it, that's like a fusion.
Well, that's a really good impression of me, thank you.
Armstrong line for generations. Sorry, I had to get my Sissel back. I would love to join the Cell games. What the fuck? I don't know.
love to join the Cell games.
I would love to join the Cell games, but there's no way I could stand up to your perfection. That's... As soon as I said perfection, it switched back. Sissel eventually put into words. Cell looks at him with childlike amazement, and his mouth slowly opens.
Oh, God.
Never before have I needed something so much and not known until I received it.
He says quietly, and Nani moves closer.
What?
Nothing.
No, really, what?
She repeats, and Cell stifles a laugh and turns away, pondering. The group looks at him like he is some sort of madman, and he starts to laugh to himself.
Smack.
Pause the recording. In 3, 2...
Wait.
All right. 3, 2... Give it a little bit more sound as we click back. Where were we?
I think it was... What? No, really?
Never before have I needed something.
Suddenly.
Oh, suddenly. Gotcha. I'll read the one before that as well. Sorry about that. We're back. A lot of interruptions right now for damn near midnight. No, damn near 3 a.m. Sorry. The group looks at him like he is some sort of a madman as he laughs to himself. Suddenly, an orange rock appears out of a portal and hits Cell in the head. He grunts, his expression returning to dead serious.
Which one of you threw that?
He shouts excitedly. Broly smiles and points at Nani, who gasps and shakes her hand.
What? I...
She is cut off by a swift blow to the chest as Cell sends her tumbling to the other side of the arena.
Well, I guess we're starting a little early.
He bellows at her while stretching his arms. She stands and coughs, her hand pinned to her chest as she groans in discomfort.
Hey, why don't we just calm down for a second?
She says, trying to dissuade Cell from attacking again, but to no avail. He lunges at her, his speed overwhelming her instantly as he sends her hurtling through one of the corner pillars and outside of the arena.
Really offended by that small, most likely, he probably didn't even feel it, but really offended him for some reason.
He smirks as Sissel stands in between them, arms crossed.
Oh, you're little Saiyan.
What was that? You laughing?
I think that, yeah, do that.
Oh, your little Saiyan friend is already out of the ring. What a pity. She didn't even have a chance to show her hidden strength.
He says, turning away and walking back towards the center and towards Broly.
Wait, Hoy?
It's like,
Hoy, big guy. You feeling like a fight?
that sounded terrible. I'm going to try that again.
Hoy, big guy. You feeling like a fight?
He taunts Broly, who stares coldly back at him.
You have a problem, Saiyan?
Say those.
Perfection. You have a problem, Saiyan?
As he continues to taunt Broly, Fu makes his way out of a portal and toward a slightly wounded Nani. How did I do my Fu? Oh,
I don't remember.
Hey, kid! You going Super Saiyan, right?
He asks as she picks herself up off the ground. She nods and he claps excitedly.
You want to participate in an experiment I have recently perfected?
He asks as she gives him a thumbs up, resting her arms on her knees.
Oh, good! Then take this!
He hands her a purple-colored stone, nearly identical in design and size to the orange one she threw at Cell.
What do I do with this?
Give it a lick!
What?
He says as she does double take.
What?
She exclaims, and he chuckles and shakes his head.
JK, channel your energy into it until it breaks!
He nearly shouts, and she looks at it. With a grunt, her energy pours into the stone, causing it to glow brightly. As every ounce of her power fills it, it cracks and shrieks loudly. Cell stops and turns as the stone explodes, and the energy flows back into Nani, prompting a yell of surprise.
Oh, what did you do to me?
She shouts as the pain multiplies, along with her power. With a thunderous crack, the stone double explodes,
What did double explode?
and her aura likewise. Sissel looks at her with shock as the arena is rendered dust-free. She is shrouded in light and smoke as Cell watches in amazement. With an ear-splitting yell, the energy forces her to transform into a never-before-seen Saiyan form.
Oh, good, it worked! But what do we call it?
As Fu praises his creation, Nani stands back up, the sound of her aura a dull roar of energy. Her hair has turned an almost neon violet, flowing about her shoulders and above her head.
Oh! I see that different Super Saiyan forms are playing well together. What should it be called?
He walks in a circle contemplating.
Super Saiyan 5? No, that wouldn't make any sense.
As he paces, Nani recollects herself and looks at Cell, who is locked on her.
Super Saiyan Purple? No, that's derivative. Oh, I know!
Perfect Super Saiyan! As he speaks, Cell scoffs and looks at him.
Ha! You think that's a perfect Super Saiyan? Amateur!
That's how he would say it, you know it.
Amateur!
This! He roars as his purple hair turns a vibrant white gold, and he smirks at Fu.
This is perfection.
He's just like,
Fu looks at him for a moment before dismissing it and going back to contemplation. Cell scoffs and looks back at Nani.
Whatever, I don't need your input. I fully intend to save this for later, but this is far more perfect of a circumstance for me to unveil my true power.
As Cell monologues, Nani steps back onto the arena, the ground fizzling at her feet.
You need a name? I'll give you one! Right as soon as I grind your creation into the dirt!
Cell shouts as Nani rushes him. She surprises the android a bit with her power, sending a shockwave across the arena.
Ho ho! So the little girl has some bite after all. Come on then. Show me what you can do.
Cell says as the two fighters become a flurry of fists and feet across the arena. throwing Broly and Sissel. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that.
For a loop.
I know what it says. Who's saying this? Oh, it's Few. Oh, yes! This is going super! With the power given to her by my energy, she should be many times stronger than a regular Saiyan, Few says, still praising his own success. Broly growls and marches across the arena towards the orange stone that Nani threw at Cell.
What the hell is this? The same thing that made her transform?
He says, grabbing the stone. Few notices and appears in front of Broly. Mind if I take this back? Thank you! He grabs it from Broly, who growls and punches the air. And Few appears between Cell and Nani. Hey, Mr. Perfect
Murphy!
Hey, Mr. Perfect Cell, take this! He presents the stone to Cell, and the android looks puzzled.
Oh, what the fuck is this? Some sort of bauble?
Pour your energy into.
Few starts to explain, but Nani grabs him by the back of the neck and throws him outside the arena. He shouts in surprise before disappearing into a mist. She growls and looks back at Cell, who chuckles, as the stone instantly bursts under the load of his power.
But he never grabbed it.
Apparently.
Few just held it up and then... Wow!
Well, I think Few teleported it to him when he was being thrown, or something along those lines. It just wasn't explained.
Yeah.
She roars and lunges back towards Cell, only for his intense shockwave to knock her back.
You thought you could stand up to me for long? Stupid girl! I will show you the power of perfection.
Meanwhile, Sissel notices... So I'm noticing Shenron gets summoned pretty fucking close to here.
Yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, Sissel notices he still has the bag with all the Dragon Balls inside. He takes flight in a northerly direction. After a few minutes, he lands in a forest on the mountains. He hurriedly spreads the bag wide open, letting all the balls filter out, among other things. Wow, why is that even there? They all mysteriously land in a neat formation. Sissel gazes upon them and begins reciting the ancient proverbs.
Mighty Shenron, by thy name I summon thee.
The sky begins to darken, and clouds begin to block out the sun. Lightning fills the sky, and the balls glow brightly. They explode with energy, and a streak of light shoots into the air. It curls about in the shape of the mighty dragon, and he lets out a long sigh.
I am Shenron.
No, we say it at the same time.
I am Shenron. Speak now, and I will grant your wish.
Sissel gasps and takes a step back.
Can I wish for anything? No, but my powers are still vast. We will troubleshoot as we go.
Sissel takes a moment to ponder the phrasing of his question.
Almighty
What was that?
Almighty Shenron, I wish for you to bring Nani of the Saiyan race on Earth and I to the planet Sadala in Universe 6 safely.
Very well. By your wish I will abide. But first, do you have any other requests?
I wish to be half Saiyan, half Namekian.
Oh, okay. You sure? They aren't exactly the most compatible.
Yes, though I'd like to remain a Namekian on the outside if possible.
Very well. Your wish is granted. What is your last wish?
I want to know who is the strongest Saiyan in Universe 6.
A Saiyan monk by the name of Jaimo. He resides near the peak of Mount Yamoshi on planet Sadala.
Sissel feels a sudden rush of energy as the Saiyan blood flows through his new body. He begins to shout and build his energy. Every muscle in his body grows tense as small sparks pass through the air around him, and the nearby rocks raise into the air. He reaches a point where the energy just won't build any further.
Shenron.
Oh, wait.
Shenron. Oh, shut up. Why can't I build my energy any higher? I don't know why that's not funny. Oh, right.
Shenron, why can I not build my energy any higher? I thought I was part Saiyan now.
Super Saiyan cannot be called upon without prior knowledge. You will have to become one, just like every Saiyan before you. through blood, sweat, and tears. Literally.
Cecil lets out a disappointed sigh, and the dragon groans a bit.
No.
Oh,
No. Stop flaring your energy. It is hard enough getting a lock on the other three.
Wait, what? Without a moment's notice, the Namekian was gone, as were 3 other Saiyans on the planet, leaving behind a very confused android.
Oh, what the hell? Where did that brat go?
Cell says, looking around at that arena in shock.
Oh, I don't know.
A voice looms behind Cell, growing deeper as it approaches.
But I guess that leaves the task of tearing you to shreds to me.
Cell turns to face the voice, somehow forgetting that Broly was there to begin with.
Oh, dear Lord, what fresh hell is this?
So perfect.
And Chapter 4, the smallest chapter we have written, is literally just a paragraph and involves Goku and Vegeta, apparently. I don't fucking know what's going on here. Alright. The 4 arrive on planet Sadala, on the flank of a grassy hill. Is that Sissel?
I think that's Vegeta.
A raspy voice shouts over the roar of... Yeah, that might be Vegeta. I feel like my Vegeta's better than my Goku, so I should be Vegeta. I'm sure he says something. You all right. Yeah, okay. I gotta think of a line for Vegeta first, so I can...
get my Goku voice going.
What's a Vegeta line? A really common one.
You! Too strong! Explain now!
No, not that one.
It's over 9,000!
I get... What is a regular talking one? Woman!
Get me a beer!
Alright. God damn it! What the hell? Where am I? A raspy voice shouts over the roar of energy. Sissel looks around, not immediately recognizing the voice.
Was it the wish to bring the Saiyan?
Yeah, all Saiyans or something like that.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, I will grant your wish, but first we have another. Okay. Your wish is granted. What? Wait, no.
Almighty, I wish you for bringing Nani of the Saiyan race on Earth, and I to the planet of...
Oh! Nani of the Saiyan race. Oh! Bring
What?
Nani of the Saiyan race on Earth.
Because Nani means what? Of the Saiyan race. So I think he took it as Nani, and not Nani, her name.
So he brought them all.
Yeah, for safety, he didn't plan on... Anyway.
Oh, that's why he said... Wait, I have to lock onto the other 3. That's why he said, wait,
Yeah.
what? Wait, the other 3. So that means Nani, Goku, and Vegeta?
Yeah.
Is there another one? Trunks? No. Because they're half Saiyans.
Yeah, because I think he implied full Saiyan by saying just Saiyan. Anyway.
God damn it, what the hell? No.
God damn it, what the hell? I'm Perfect Cell now! Ah!
Who's all here? Nani? Sissel says, looking around, seeing the 2 extra people Shenron had mentioned. He spots Nani across the clearing and jogs over. Are you alright? She is still clad in the purple form, and, much to Sissel's surprise, she slams her foot into his stomach before taking off towards the nearby hilltop. He gasps and collapses as one of the Saiyans that Shenron dragged with them comes running.
You alright? Who was that girl with the crazy energy?
Sissel looks up, seeing the voice belongs to Son Goku, and Vegeta is not too far behind. That's what I would like to know. No, woman, that's what I would like to know. Close enough. Vegeta says, and then it just ends there.
I want more.
We will be writing more of this, actually, no doubt about it, because this was pretty fucking funny. Especially Cell and Few and all that. Fucking Christ.
The Cell's reaction to Broly was like, get
what?
your big meat off me. Oh, what fresh hell is this?
That's my favorite. What was that one where we just couldn't say the fucking line?
Here, let me read it. I want to read it.
Oh yeah, I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. Also, get the fuck off me, you monstrous piece of man.
Where is it?
Right there. You're there.
I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. Also, get the fuck off of me, you monstrous piece of man.
Absolute perfection. I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. I have a little bit of Kakarot in me. Also, get the fuck off me, you monstrous piece of man!
Yeah, I think originally he was supposed to always be legendary for some reason. Because otherwise he's just really tall. What is he, like
8 feet tall.
Yeah,
I think
know.
that's taller than Cell.
He's certainly not a monstrous piece of man in his small form.
Well, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, I think this story needs a lot of work, for sure. But it's so fucking funny. There's some parts in this where it was just fucking funny. I hope you guys see it the same way. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Tell me if you want to hear more of this story or if you want to hear any of our other stuff, because Noah wrote his own. I don't know if he's willing to share that, though. I've got a couple others, especially my Elon Musk fan fiction, that I think I'm absolutely going to be reading at some point in the future. Definitely some interesting stuff coming up. So hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Have a good one. I don't care what you do. Let's hit the pause button.